This is personal for me. I'm going to talk about my why today. Why am I working with my co-founder to build Look? Now, Tate, my co-founder, she has her own why, and together we have a shared why. But today I'm just talking about why I'm doing this. And if I've learned anything over the last many years about trying to build a business, you have to have a strong why because it's hard. And that why cannot be making money because there's not always money. If you want to make money, go get a job for a big company with a great healthcare plan. This is not the path. You have to have a why that is so deeply embedded, it feels like it's not even a choice. And that's how it is for me. I just started doing this and teaching this and building this and working with Tate. And then it just starts happening. It's not even a choice. So what is my why? Let's go back in time. It's the early 90s, 91, and I'm entering high school. And I am consuming these fashion magazines, just cover to cover, one after the other, 17, Vogue, Mademoiselle, Glamour. And at that time, when your brain is wiring, it doesn't stop its full development until your early 20s. I was wiring my brain with this warped reality, and the world was telling me what is valued is beauty and a very thin body or athletic body. And I didn't have any other influences telling me that my intelligence would be valued, humor, talent, anything else. So I had a very strange, warped reality that was being fed externally and then by consuming these magazines. So the magazines weren't the only cause. There were definitely other things that we don't need to go into here. But I went into deep depression, had a decade of depression and an eating disorder that was pretty debilitating. So fast forward, now I have two small daughters, 3 and 5. It's around 2012. Facebook comes on the scene. It's getting really popular. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be 10,000, 100,000 times worse for young women than magazines were for me at the time because it's endless. But the magazine, there was an end. I could have 4 magazines, but eventually they end. So I would always have to get up and do something else. And I was still a mess. With this, it just goes on and on and on, and it never ends. Whew. I mean, we all know what the problem is. And what we see is what we think about, what we talk about, and that becomes the reality that we live in. I mean, we actually have new neural connections being made saying this is what's important. This is what we care about. This is what we think about. So these pages that get curated and you start to see more and more of the same thing, that becomes bigger and bigger in our lives. So just think about the saying I always repeat and when I teach is what you pay attention to grows. That could be a good thing. If you're paying attention to a skill that you're learning, that's going to grow and get bigger. You're going to get better at it. If you're paying attention to women complaining about their bodies, that's going to grow in your mind, and that's all you'll think about. Now, a lot of the things that helped me heal and get past the depression and the eating disorder were a lot of the practices that we put into Look. So these redirects, forcing you to get, or encouraging you, supporting you to get up and do something else, think in another way, talk to another person, get creative, send it to a friend and say, let's do this together. Manipulating the nervous system in different ways. A lot of the things that you would do in yoga or meditation, all of that's in here. Since I've dedicated my life to understanding what a mentally healthy lifestyle looks like, studying it, teaching it, practicing it, cultivating it, creating a curriculum, I'm just so excited to bring these tools to lots of people. Not everyone has time to dive deep into understanding the body's operating manual, but everybody deserves to know. So we're bringing these things to you in little nuggets, in a fun way, in a game, so that you can feel supported and get the information you need to be empowered to live a life that's going to support your values, your purpose, your gifts and talents, so that the world gets access to all of that. You know, you're needed out there, and we want to help you, you know, live and flourish and meet the fullest expression of yourself. So I would love for you to give this a shot and let us know what you think. If there was anything I said today that resonated with you, or you feel anxious or distracted, stressed, depressed, you're comparing yourself, you feel like you're losing hours of your day, you don't feel like you're growing as a person, you don't feel like you are tapping into your gifts and talents, you know, we're there for you. If you feel like you just wish you could go outside more and hang out with friends more, but you get stuck, we're for you as well. So please reach out if you have any questions. I would love to talk to you. I'd love to hear what's going on. Please join the Look team.